Let me help you out of your chair, Grandma. Grandma.
Hey, what up? This is Jay Music.
Hey, man, it's Randall from Clerks.
And you're watching Rubber City Wrestling. Real pro wrestling, not that flippy stuff.
Rubber City. Isn't that what they call James Franco's bedroom? Guy orders condoms by the pallet.
Snoogans.
I'm gonna kick Dreamer's ass. I'm gonna kick your ass. The Rod walked out of WrestleMania, the people's champ.
So why don't you go back to Calgary and take some more gas?
Hi wrestling fans, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly. I'm your host, the boss's son, Bo Smyrno. We hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and today we have a special holiday episode. What you can expect today is to see a lot of the different personalities that have been on Pro Wrestling Weekly in the past year. Also, we have some awards that I'll get to in just a moment. We have some big announcements for our New Year show next week, so you want to stay tuned and see how that goes. Also, for the viewers on PAX TV, we would like to welcome you because at 2 o'clock you see a replay of our 12 o'clock show. So if you'd like to see our phone numbers in Cleveland, they're 521-3529, and in Akron, 677-0029. Now, next week you'll be able to call those numbers, but you have to do it at 12 o'clock if you want to get into the show. So once again, we're on live at noon every week on the Cat and at 2 o'clock on PAX TV. With that in mind, let's just tell you a little bit about the history of Pro Wrestling Weekly. The show started in April. It's hosted by the champ, John Potok, your role model, Rick Lieb, and myself, along with Jenna now. But in the past, as you'll see later on in the show, we've had a lot of different people come and go. And in this episode, we're going to show you some of those highlights and other moments like that. So we hope you sit back and enjoy yourself, get to the refrigerator, get your leftovers, get your cookies and milk, whatever you got to do, sit back and enjoy the show. Right now, I'd like to get into some special awards that we, the staff of Pro Wrestling Weekly, have made up. First of all, in the category of Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, that award goes to Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Triple H came from a background where he was in the WCW. He did okay there. When he came to the WWF, he got in real good with the Click and Shawn Michaels, and it took him several years to get to the position he is now, which is the top heel in the company. And we feel that he's done an extremely good job this year of developing his character and DX into what they are today. So Triple H, congratulations, you're our Most Improved Wrestler of the Year. Also in the WWF, we had to claim a Rookie of the Year. And that person is someone who comes onto the scene, shows a lot of great wrestling ability, shows a lot of promise for the future. And we chose none other than Test. Test, as you can see, has come along a lot way in the past year, his first year with the company. And we feel that next year should be a breakthrough year for Test, as his involvement in the Stephanie McMahon angle has really elevated his career, although in recent weeks it looks like they've been kind of putting him down. That's only to set up where he's going to be going when the year 2000 rolls around. So congratulations to Test for the Rookie of the Year. The Most Popular of the Wrestler of the Year, this was a hard decision. You really have to look at a lot of different things, but overall, I think when you walk into a child's classroom today and you ask them who their most popular wrestler is, the first thing they're going to say is The Rock. It's only common fact that everybody is going around saying his catchphrases, and we know Stone Cold Steve Austin was extremely popular, but we feel with the injuries he has sustained and his popularity was starting to diminish just slightly right before the major injury, and The Rock has only been going ever so strong all year long. So congratulations to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, on being the most popular wrestler of the year. The most hated wrestler of the year is someone that the fans really can't stand. And without a doubt, us at PWW, we can't stand the man by the name of X-Pac. As you know, he came in the WWF as the 1-2-3 kid. He was the good guy that was winning the matches, defeating and upsetting the wrestlers. Then he went on to the WCW and had a short career there. But in the WWF lately, when DX was reformed, X-Pac and his feud with Kane, who's a very popular wrestler, has really gone down the tubes with the fans. So X-Pac, congratulations, you're our most hated wrestler of the year. The sexiest woman in wrestling of the year. This is a pretty hard category. There's a lot of different women all over the wrestling industry. There's more and more every day. I think next year you'll see even more with Trish Stratus coming into the WWF. But overall, the sexiest woman of the year, the one that put on a really good show, the one that seems to have a very good future, has to be Terry Runnels, the former wife of Goldust's character. So Terry Runnels, manager of the Hardy Boys, congratulations on becoming PWW's sexiest woman of the year. Our next category is the best gimmick. This is the person whose gimmick that's either they create or the writers create for them, the way they portray their characters on TV and everything else. And we feel that the best gimmick going right now and developing through the year is the character of Jeff Jarrett and how he's come from that cowboy gimmick and all the other things to being the guitar swinging freak that he is. And Jeff Jarrett, who in the WWF was doing real well until his shocking departure to the WCW, in which it actually elevated his career into main event status, as you'll see, as he's now in the NWO. Jeff Jarrett gets the best gimmick because he's coming on strong. Should be a very good year for Jeff Jarrett next year. I could see possible world title status in his future. The worst gimmick of the year was sort of a spin-off of the NWO, and this was actually probably wrapped up late last year and early this year. It was the LWO, the Latino World Order. It involved Eddie Guerrero and a lot of the Latino wrestlers sort of as a mock to the NWO and the New World Order. So we didn't feel that that gimmick went off really well at all, and it was dropped fairly quickly. So the LWO, which is no longer in existence, they get the worst gimmick of the year. The comeback of the year, which is sort of a feud, was sort of Vince McMahon getting involved in wrestling and doing that with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was becoming more popular as the years went on. But as a comeback feature, that Austin McMahon feud was actually something that set up the popularity of wrestling for the rest of this year into the mid parts of summer and later on into the fall. So congratulations to Austin McMahon for having the comeback of the year. Now the feud of the year, you know, wrestling feuds have really taken a different turn in the recent years. In the old days, feuds would last, you know, a couple of months, even a couple of years. Just look at Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee and
so I can,
Austin
make a
Idol
determination
and
on just what it
Dusty
is I'm
Rhodes
going to
and
do.
Terry
What I'm
Funk.
thinking
Those
about,
guys used to feud forever. But now wrestling is so turnkey that when you turn it on, one week somebody's feuding, the next week they have another program that they're booked with and another personality. So that was kind of a hard category, but we really thought that the feud of the year had to be in the ECW, where Tommy Dreamer, who has been fighting off some injuries, has been going at it with the Impact Players, Just Incredible, Lance Storm and Dawn Marie, with some other people involved. As you know now, Raven's involved in that, the Sandman, Rhino's been involved. But ECW is probably, if you're going to look for feuds, they probably have the best continuance of stories and people. So we think that the ECW puts out the feud of the year, Tommy Dreamer versus the Impact Players. Now the most shocking news story of the year, without a doubt, this is the death of Owen Hart. Unfortunately, he died at the pay-per-view back in the spring. And when he fell from the rafters of the ring when he was playing the character of the Blue Blazer, it's no secret that that was not only most shocking but most upsetting wrestling news of the year, the death of a very, very talented wrestler in Owen Hart. So our prayers go out with his family still. And we'll move on to number 11, the match of the year. Well, this is a pretty tough one. There's thousands of wrestling matches per year. Obviously, we don't see them all. You don't see them all. But obviously, we have to pick this one because the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian at No Mercy in Cleveland's Gund Arena with the ladder match was an absolute phenomenal match. It went all over the place in the ring. They were flying all over. They were doing moves that you've never seen before. And we really feel that that match is the match of the year, although there's many others that could have been, you know, chosen for that. Congratulations to Hardys, Edge and Christian. You have a big career ahead of you in the WWF. The tag team of the year, speaking of the Hardys, we're going to give that to the Hardy Boys. Now, granted, they weren't the WWF Tag Team Champions for too long, but the Hardy Boys, as far as a wrestling ability goes, by far are the best thing going in wrestling today as far as tag teams, and next year you'll see a lot more from them. This leads us to the Wrestler of the Year. This was a tough choice. You have to really look at wrestling ability, wrestling character, and wrestling development. Congratulations, Mankind, you're the PWW Wrestler of the Year because of what you bring to wrestling. Your character, your #1 selling author, and your ability to keep the show going. On behalf of PWW, we'd like to say congratulations to all the wrestlers, and we hope that next year will be even a better year for wrestling. And when we return, we're going to get into the rest of our holiday special here on Pro Wrestling Weekly. So stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Rubber City Wrestling presents Civil War 2026, Saturday, May 30th at the Akron Turner Club in Talmadge, Ohio. This event features brother versus brother, friends turned foe, and 2 World Championship matches as the Butcher challenges James Lethal for his World Super Heavyweight Championship, and World Heavyweight Champion, the Genetic Freak, John Potok, defends his belt against Strong Style John Rossiter in a last man standing match. The Global Television Championship is on the line as Brennan Martell faces Donovan A. Kozar, plus Platinum Marcus Knight versus Kenny Collins, Draven Post versus Alexander Crowley, Devin Douglas defends his All-American City Championship versus Bruno Mercury, Mike Smiley versus Mike Botts, and your role model Rick Lee versus the Hall of Famer Justin Dreams. The women's division is back as Miss Hannah faces Mars Crest, plus Scott E. Stevens is a special guest on Know Your Role Model. Tickets are $20 general admission, $25 front row. Doors open at 5 p.m., bell time is at 6 p.m. Get there at 5 p.m. and watch the pre-show matches. Rubber City Wrestling. Real professional wrestling. Not that flippy stuff.
TNT Health, unmasking your potential. So, you want to look like the headline Vinny DiMaggio? Here's your chance. Let's not be ridiculous. Nobody can look like Vinny. But if you need that energy before your workout, or you want to lose some weight, burn some fat, we got that. You want to build some lean muscle? You can get it at TNT. Or even if you just need the essentials, BCAAs, juiced up, here at TNT Health, we carry it all. Come visit us at tnthealth.com.
How you doing? I'm Joe. You might know me as the Millionaire Freddie Cash on the show of PWW.
And I'm Denny, and you might know me as Shano the Bodyguard.
That's the characters we played on the show, and it was kind of fun, and it was exciting.
Oh, yeah.
About how they really came up with the Millionaire. I was sitting around with BS and John one evening. They were script writing for the show, and we were sitting there together, just kind of shooting the breeze, and they were writing, and they came up with the Millionaire. And as a joke, they were like, well, hey, would you like to play this role for us? You know, we kind of laughed about it, and I said, well, hey, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty fun to do that. And we gathered it together, and this is the part I got to play on the show. And the next evening, we were discussing a little more, and we decided with Denny here that to add him to the show as my bodyguard.
And I was like, that's cool. They wanted someone that could like have a mean look, and I'm not mean, but I do just kind of have like a mean look,
He's got that big teddy bear feel to him. But one of the things we did with the show was we got to go out around and do skits and various things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had some good times on there with going out, trying to pay people money to do things. And what was it like for you to do that?
I kind of got a kick out of it. I like to play jokes on people and stuff, and I don't know what we did. It was just kind of fun, like the Hey Kid, and that skit we did with the paper boy. I don't know, I just got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he looks older than both of us, Like, hey kid, it just kind of cracked me up,
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I remember like one of the things that was a lot of fun to me is when we did the skit with the bum.
Mm-hmm.
We had to push him down and everything, and
I got to stomp on him.
Yeah, that was real fun.
Mm-hmm.
We did the Paperboy, we did the Boss Around Town all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun.
And the one with the old lady, which turned out to be Angie, or
Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Calling her an old fart instead. That was pretty cool.
Another thing that we enjoyed was, with BS and John, we got to help write some of our scripts, and they were telling us to always act. One of my role was to act arrogant, and sometimes it came natural for me, and other times it was, I had to put on a good show to the fans out there. And sometimes it became a little hard, you know, it's a little tongue-tied.
Yeah, they just want me to basically have a mean look, and like I said, you know, that's basically summed it up for me, you know, just throwing a line or two, but, you know, it's still fun, though, you know, I liked it.
Yeah, then working with the people on the show, like John and BS and Jenna and, I mean, the role model, everybody was a lot of fun. I mean, we all knew each other, real close friends and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was actually a lot of fun working with everybody.
What was your favorite, like, memory of the show?
Probably my favorite memory of the show was, like I said, doing that scene with the bum. I mean, we sit there and we did a lot of takes on it. And,
no, we didn't do that many.
we did quite a bit though. Actually, every skit we did quite a bit of takes.
I like how our skits kind of boosted the ratings too.
Yeah, we were a ratings drawer. But probably my favorite memory of the show was actually doing that last skit with Jenna and everything. It took us a long time to put that piece together, and we went through a lot of different controversies with it.
Many.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff you don't know about.
But like putting the stuff together, seeing it done, just being behind the scenes of everything, it was really pretty interesting. You know, being behind it and people are, you know,
having something to do with it. You know?
Yeah, people asking you sometimes. You're out and you see your friends and they're asking you, hey, what's gonna happen next with the show? And
we don't know. You know, we really don't. You know, we know when we get there.
Yeah,
it's basically about how it is.
But like I said, working with the champ, that was a fun thing. He was real smart. BS. Another fun time was working with BS.
Oh yeah.
Seeing like the things with the inner circle. We were around. We weren't actually involved with it, but being around it, seeing things done.
Well, speaking of the inner circle, when they had the angle when Keith Young had to put BS in the bear hug, you know, and then I come in and start hitting him. Well, what everybody don't know is that his pants ended up falling down, and that was funny. That was a very good
and they didn't
memory
catch
that I
all
got
that.
of the show. Yeah, they didn't catch all that, but I looked down and saw that when he fell down.
Yeah,
that was funny.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Another time, which was funny, is with the boss's daughter. When we seen her on the show with the champ.
Yeah.
And they were sitting there planning for that. The smack.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked
it was pretty, you know,
that.
The skit of her. I mean, the boss's daughter. She's really a real sensitive person, and the champ. He's kind of, you know, along the same lines. To see them, you know, trying to act out a skit like that, just learning how to do things. It was a lot of fun.
Everybody's like, "How'd you guys do that?" It's like, it was real.
Just like with you and the bum that time, you know, when you were pushing him down.
You know, really fell.
Yeah, we got to stomp him. I got to break the bottle and everything. It was really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Another good time on the show was with the paperweight when we were setting that up. It was going down the street. We were kind of in the neighborhood, walking down, and how they had him dressed. That was great because you know, they had him. He's an older gentleman. But I mean, these are just some of the memories we had.
Yeah.
And being on the show was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
And we just want to say happy holidays and have a happy new year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Rubber City Wrestling presents Civil War 2026, Saturday, May 30th at the Akron Turner Club in Talmadge, Ohio. This event features brother versus brother, friends turned foe, and 2 World Championship matches as the Butcher challenges James Lethal for his World Super Heavyweight Championship, and World Heavyweight Champion, the Genetic Freak John Potok, defends his belt against Strong Style John Rossiter in a last man standing match. The Global Television Championship is on the line as Brennan Martell faces Donovan A. Kozar, plus Platinum Marcus Knight versus Kenny Collins, Draven Post versus Alexander Crowley, Devin Douglas defends his All-American City Championship versus Bruno Mercury, Mike Smiley versus Mike Botts, and your role model Rick Lee versus the Hall of Famer Justin Dreams. The women's division is back as Miss Hannah faces Mars Crest, plus Scott E. Stevens is a special guest on Know Your Role Model. Tickets are $20 general admission, $25 front row. Doors open at 5 p.m. Bell time is at 6 p.m. Get there at 5 p.m. and watch the pre-show matches. Rubber City Wrestling. Real professional wrestling. Not not that flippy stuff.
All my life, I wanted something to do with pro wrestling. I didn't care if it was a pro wrestler, a manager, an announcer. Hell, I'd even be the water boy. It was my dream to be a part of pro wrestling, and that's why I'm thankful for this opportunity.
Join the champ, John Potok, the boss's son, Bo Smirno, and your role model, Rick Lieb, Saturdays at noon for reruns of Pro Wrestling Weekly on the RCW Network on YouTube.
And he wants to be a wrestler.
Would you like to see your commercial aired on both RCW Spotlight and RCW Global? Contact us on social media at facebook.com/Rubber City Wrestling, Instagram at Rubber City Wrestling, or email us at the RCW Network at gmail.com.
I'm Angie. You know me on the show as Jenna.
And I'm Lindsay, and you guys know me as the boss's daughter.
How I first started on the show was I'm a friend of everybody that's on the show. We were sitting around one evening. The role model was no longer on the show, so they thought they needed another opinion on the show, and what better than a woman's opinion on the show? I mean, I already know I'm already into wrestling, and I already knew a bunch of statistics, so they figured, you know, let me come on and see how it goes. My very first time on the show was a little nervous. I was a little nervous because the callers that call in aren't always the nicest. I don't like to be mean to people and yell at them and hang up on them.
Oh, once in a while.
Once in a while that happens, but being on the show the first time was pretty cool. We did a couple rehearsals of what I was going to say, tried not to talk too much the first show, try to get the feel of things, and then it just came into play better. What about you?
I got the part as the boss's daughter because originally they were looking for someone to play the mom, and they couldn't think of anyone that could fit the mom position. They just didn't know anyone that would do it. So they said, well, we'll bring someone on as Bo's sister, and
actually you are family with somebody else who's on this show.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Don't like to mention that because don't care for the millionaire, but you know.
Yeah, the millionaire is my fiance, and so I got on that way. They came to me, and John asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said sure because I'm like really into wrestling, and so I.
You probably know more about wrestling than the guys on the show.
They should have women permanently on here, but
we be an all-women show.
So I thought it would be cool, and I came on and tried it, and that's how I was the boss's daughter. Is your personality different from Jenna?
Yeah, it is. On the show, they kind of have me as being really bubbly. I mean, I'm nice, but I'm not bubbly. I don't like to take crap from people, and I take it from a lot of the callers that call in. I take it on the show from the millionaire, from the champ, from the role model.
I think the champ and the role model called you, like, you know, slut one time. So
yeah, I know, all the time. Don't
hopefully
worry.
You're not one of those.
They got the elbow after the show. I mean, they can talk what they want on the show, but outside of the show, they know who's the boss, really. The champ is a chump. We all have a good time on the show, though. Being on the show, you get to do a lot of things that are real. You get to say things that you want. You get to act out things that you want, like, you know, you're slapping the champ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my character that I played, I didn't really have too much of a character developed because I was only on, like, a couple short skits or whatever. But I'm pretty much not too different. I mean, I was pretty nice on the show besides when I slapped John, but, you know, I'd get pleasure out of that in real life, too, so either way, it was pretty cool. And I didn't really have, you know, I wasn't really mean or anything like that. I was pretty nice on the show, and I feel I'm pretty much like that in person, too.
Yeah. I mean, we do the shows on Sundays, but we also, as a group, everybody who's on the show, even a couple people that are not on the show, we go to wrestling events together.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good time.
It's pretty cool because basically everyone that's on the show, we're like all friends and stuff, and we've known each other for a while. So we get together, you know, and we watch wrestling pay-per-views and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
and then you get to incorporate that stuff into the show. So
right.
it works
We
out
have
pretty well.
pay-per-view parties together. I mean, we go out and have fun together. We celebrate holidays together. We work on the show together.
So, what was your favorite memory of you being on the show?
I haven't been on the show that long, probably a couple months now, but my favorite part of the show was when we had the brawl. Everybody had a brawl. Even Colder was here. He was promoting.
I remember that. That was pretty funny.
He was promoting his. He was promoting a show that he's doing in January, a fantasy camp, and you know the role model got involved in the fight. BS. Keith Young. That was a great show too because that's when the champ revealed himself as part of the inner circle. You know, so that was a big brawl. I mean, the set fell over. It was fun. We didn't even have it. That was all live. Like, we didn't even try a take on that one.
Yeah, I definitely think that my favorite memory of being on the show was when I slapped John. Because at the time, it was kind of funny because we were, like, practicing, and he's like, make it look real, make it look real. And I was trying to, and actually, when I did on the show, I kind of did it, like, you know, harder than what I thought I was supposed to do. And it was funny. We kind of laughed at that because, you know, we're real close with each other, so it was funny for me to slap him that hard, and, you know, we kind of laughed about it. He got a little upset at first, but, you know, it was all right.
He'll have to get over that. Some skits on the show I think are funny, like some of the Millionaire skits. There's been a lot of surprises on the show, and actually, I don't know, you know, what's going to happen on the show really till the day it happens. People see me, you know, out on the street sometimes, and they'll say, "Hey, Jenna, you know, what's going to happen this weekend?" Or, are you really kicked off the show? Or, did they really beat you up?
It's funny to see, you know, how many people recognize you just from being on, you know, a show like this. Like, none of us think of each other as like, oh my God, we were on, you know, like national TV or something. Like, we didn't think it was a big deal. But, you know, even when we go out places, I went back to where I used to go to school, and it's like everybody was coming up to me and saying, oh my God, I saw you on PWW. How'd you get into that? And, like, everyone just thought it was, like, the neatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you know, John and Ricky and all them, they get recognized, like, all the time.
Yeah, we'll go shopping.
Funny, yeah, because we don't think of them as, like, you know, any big deal. We're like, oh, okay, you know, but they go out someplace and everyone thinks, oh my God, you know, it's the champ.
They get, you know,
it's the
autographs. There's autographs, you know, people sign autographs.
Yeah.
When we were at actually a WWF pay-per-view, it was Monday Night Raw. Ricky, the role model, got noticed. There was this family sitting in front of us. It was two guys, and his the one guy, his daughter was with him. She was like 15 or something. She was like, those are the PWW people.
Yeah, and we
like we were
VIPs
at the show or something. Yeah, it was pretty funny. When we were leaving, they're like, yeah, people notice us.
Yeah. John will go to the grocery store and he'll come and go, yeah, I'm the star now, you know, and he like gets, I think he gets
a big kick out of it. Yeah.
It's funny to, you know, actually see how many people recognize you because you think, oh, big deal, like we just come in here and it's no big deal, and then people like, so many people watch the show that you don't realize, and it's kind of weird.
People actually think my name's Jenna when they see me places. I was pumping my gas at a gas station, and this guy, he's like 18, 19, he's like, Jenna, you shouldn't be pumping your own gas for you. I mean, like I don't do it any other time, but he pumps my gas for me, which was really nice. But people actually think my name's Jenna, and it's not. It's just a character on the show. Some things on the show are like I really am in person, you know, some of the actions that I do, some things that I say, but other than that, I mean, everything on the show is just characters. I mean,
it's kind of like sometimes like personal factors come out just because when you work with people you know, you don't mean for it to happen, but you're trying to play a character, and then it's like, you know, you want to sneak them like real quick about something you know before.
That's happened before with me and the role model and me and the millionaire. I mean, we have like a really joking friendship all the time. We're, you know, teasing one another about anything. Yeah. The role model says I got a voice like Marge Simpson, and the millionaire and me all the time, we fight and call each other names, and that happens all the time, but it's just a friendly working relationship.
I think that when they bring in like women on the show too, it's pretty cool because most of the time you associate wrestling with men.
Yeah.
And they think men are like the only people that watch it, but really like we watch it all the time and we get involved in it, and so it's fun to be involved in the show.
We actually get together on Mondays and Thursday nights, and if we're not there, it's taped.
Yeah, we tape everything, and so it's fun to be on the show because it also shows everyone that, you know, women get into wrestling and they like it just as much, if not better, than what most of the men do.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of women who go to these pay-per-views, I mean.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people...
Yeah. I mean, we're there. We don't show our puppies when we're there, but we're there. It happens, but it's not from us.
Especially, like, you know, you go there and it's like, you expect to see, like, all these, like, big, like, beer belly people or something. And there's a lot of women, especially, you know, a lot of women like looking at, like, all the wrestlers because they're all cute. And
Yeah.
we get into things and, you know,
Yeah,
we all pick our favorite wrestlers and stuff.
Who is your favorite wrestler?
Right now, my favorite tag team is Too Cool because I think they're really awesome when they come out and they start racing against everybody. I think that's cool.
Their gimmick is pretty funny.
Them and Rikishi dancing together, I think that's awesome. They're my favorite. And Triple H, because he's hot. I like him a lot.
Yeah, Triple H. Everybody knows my favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. I practiced doing his eyes. I can't wait to see him come back to wrestling soon. I'd like to see him at the pay-per-views in January when he's here. I hope you're there.
She actually tried to get her daughter to be The Undertaker for Halloween.
Right.
A 3-year-old little girl. She wanted her to be
Tried to get the
Undertaker.
costume. If anybody's seen, actually there's an Undertaker toy that, like, when you walk towards it, it's his face. He says something mean to you. It's pretty cool. I just seen it out in the stores last week.
Well, I'm glad that we got to talk to all of you guys and
let you know
a little bit of the real us and not just who we are on the show.
That's right. We're characters on the show, but we're also regular people in real life.
Women involved in wrestling.
That's right. It's the best aspect of this sport here.
All right. Happy holidays and
Merry
everyone,
Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Rubber City Wrestling presents Civil War 2026, Saturday, May 30th at the Akron Turner Club in Talmadge, Ohio. This event features brother versus brother, friends turned foe, and 2 World Championship matches as the Butcher challenges James Lethal for his World Super Heavyweight Championship, and World Heavyweight Champion, the Genetic Freak, John Potok, defends his belt against Strong Style John Rossiter in a last man standing match. The Global Television Championship is on the line as Brennan Martell faces Donovan A. Kozar, plus Platinum Marcus Knight versus Kenny Collins, Draven Post versus Alexander Crowley, Devin Douglas defends his All-American City Championship versus Bruno Mercury, Mike Smiley versus Mike Botts, and your role model Rick Lee versus the Hall of Famer Justin Dreams. The women's division is back as Miss Hannah faces Mars Crest, plus Scott E. Stevens is a special guest on Know Your Role Model. Tickets are $20 general admission, $25 front row. Doors open at 5 p.m. Bell time is at 6 p.m. Get there at 5 p.m. and watch the pre-show matches. Rubber City Wrestling. Real professional wrestling. Not that flippy stuff.
TNT Health, unmasking your potential. So, you want to look like the headline, Vinny DiMaggio? Here's your chance. Let's not be ridiculous. Nobody can look like Vinny. But if you need that energy before your workout, or you want to lose some weight, burn some fat, we got that. You want to build some lean muscle? You can get it at TNT. Or even if you just need the essentials, BCAAs, juiced up. Here at TNT Health, we carry it all. Come visit us at tnthealth.com.
Okay, we're back. Pro Wrestling Weekly, the champ John Potok, along with your role model,
Rick Lee.
Rick Lieb. You know, we're not supposed to open the show like that. What are we, you know?
Well, the thing is, you really are John Potok. I really am Rick Lee. So I guess we're playing ourselves on TV.
I guess so. Anyway, some of the things that we like to cover as far as you know, our characters. We want everybody to know that, you know, this is a show that's just for entertainment. You know, I play the champ, and, you know, even though now that I'm a heel, you know, I'm not really like that in real life. You know, you hear some of the comments and everything that's earlier stated, but no. Overall, you know, it's been a really good show, really good time that we've done as far as the show has went on.
Right.
How this whole thing, I guess, came about was just kind of, actually, it's kind of like by accident. We were out, and at the time I had owned a pizza shop at the time here in the Kent area, and I called up WNIR at the time, and they had a dating show, and we were like, hey, you know, we'd like to have the dating show out there, hoping to get a little draw for the beginning of it. And when they came out, they sent a salesperson out, and he came out, and he was like, hey, you know, we could do this commercial for your place, you know, and we were like, okay, hey, you know, anytime we get a commercial going on, that's more advertising, I guess. So then, you know, we started getting ready to shoot the commercial, and the guy that came out, the cameraman at the time, his name was Jason, he came out to shoot the commercial, and when he came out, me and him just got into this in-depth conversation about professional wrestling, and I'm sitting there and I'm telling him all this stuff that's going on and what's going to happen, and you know, and he was like, well, wait a minute, how do you know all this? And I told him, you know, hey, you know, I've been dealing with the wrestling business pretty much the most part of my life, and I used to work for, you know, promotional company. We actually had our own little independent thing back in the day.
Even main evented one.
Yeah, and it turned around. It just kind of was a freak accident. He said, hey, you know, the boss would love to have a wrestling show. You know, wrestling was so hot at that time. It was like really at its peak. Austin was just on the up and coming. Everything was, you know, rolling around. I was like, well, hey, you know, that'd be kind of cool. So we filled out the paperwork. We, you know, gave it a shot. And do you remember when we actually got approved to do the show, and then you were the practices at the house and everything?
Actually, before that, I'm sitting at home. I get a phone call from John. Me and John have always been like brothers. We've been actually friends since 5th grade, and then we've also had like our own little feuds going on back and forth, you know, like a little rivalry friendship thing growing up. And when we both were in the UWC, we both had our own little rivalry there. He was Johnny Mania, and I was the Nature Boy, the new Nature Boy, Rick Lee. And we even main evented, what was it, ring cleaning?
Yeah, ring cleaning.
I don't think it was Power Slam. So yeah, ring cleaning. We had that going on there. I had long hair, so we're not going to show any tapes of that now, are we? So, but it was, I mean, that was actually the highlight of my life. It was actually doing the wrestling. I really enjoyed that a lot. But unfortunately, a guy that stands 5'9" does not make it very far in the wrestling business, so I had to go to something else. And then a few years, or actually about a year ago, John calls me up and he's like, hey, Rick, you still know a lot about wrestling? I'm like, yeah, and he's like, asking me all these questions. I got them all right, and then some. I mean, I didn't even have to hesitate. I knew them all.
Some of the stuff I wasn't even looking for that certain answer. He just went in deep.
You know, I figured I'd give him detail.
Wow.
I thought maybe that's what you wanted was detail. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll give you detail. I mean, I'm still the Wrestling Inquirer. I just don't know, you know, the past too well. I don't care to once it's the past.
And then, you know, it was kind of weird how we came out. We were like, man, we need to get some gimmick names. And we were thinking, man, you know,
I took a poll at work.
Yeah, he took a poll.
I wrote down all these names. I took a poll at work, and every single person picked your role model to fit my... I told them, I was like, I want to be arrogant. I want it to look like I am just, you know, my stuff don't stink. You know, I am the man. and every single one of them picked role model. So it was like, you know, your role model sounds like you're just, you know, telling people, hey, I'm your role model without them even asking.
What were some of the other names that you...
Well, I was going to, you know, in Rick Rude's honor... Even though he was still alive at the time, you know, I was going to have Ravage and Rick Lieb, you know, I was going to have your role model, Rick Lieb, and, oh, man, there was a couple other ones, you know. I can't even remember the other ones.
I remember it was such a headache for me. I mean, actually, to the point to where the first show, I didn't even have a nickname.
You remember how we got it?
No, why don't you tell us?
Started calling him the champ.
That's right.
He's on the show, and I'm like, well, I guess you're the champ now. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. And I'm like, you know, you ought to use that nickname as the champ on the show. And he was like a little hesitant at first. Oh, I don't know. And then,
yeah, it just didn't seem like it would fit my type of...
but it fit pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, it worked out for the best, I guess. Do you remember what it was like that first show we did? We were like sitting here 5 minutes, and you know, this was all new to us, of course, and we're sitting here and we're like, oh my God, man.
Performing in front of a crowd was never new. But see, we're performing in front of cameras only now.
Right.
And so that was where it's a little bit different. So... yeah, I think the first 1 minute of the show, you know, I had the butterflies. I was nervous. I know I didn't sleep very well that night before. But once we started getting into it, once we started talking, we could talk for the rest of our lives.
And I think what made it a lot easier, too, was when we were actually on, and we had to get that first, like, stutter out before. And then once we got that out, I mean, you know, I think I was the first one to drop the ball, and then you made that little joke, you know, like the Porky Pig thing, like, a bria, 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 that's all, folks. And, you know...
that's your line, huh?
Yeah, you came up with some great one-liners throughout the show. I mean, always there to carry the...
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Actually, most of the things I say are, you know, they're mine. But I'm not going to lie. I get emails of people giving me suggestions. You know, if you're in this scenario, why don't you say this? I got friends from, you know, other places that will say, hey, I got an idea for you. You know, like, nursing from your father or something like that. Those weren't, that one wasn't mine. But it was just something that I thought, hey, that's kind of funny. I'll use it on the show. And, he felt honored to have me do it. So, that's...
Can you remember, like, as far as the favorite moment of the whole show, something that just sticks in my head, and I would never forget this. It was our second show. Our first show, we had nobody on it. And then I think we had Even Colder or J.D. Steele at the time.
No, second show was Even Colder.
Okay, then it was the third show that we did. We had that J.D. Steele. He was wrestling Even Colder at an indie show, a part of the NWW. And I'll never forget, he was sitting here, and people were calling in, ripping him up, because, oh, you don't look like a wrestler, you don't look like a wrestler. And we're like trying to carry the ball here. And then that one kid called in, and he just, it was actually our first foul-mouthed caller. And it was just, I was sitting there like, wow, we were just cracking up for 5 minutes after we went off to a commercial break. You remember that? And you were really upset about it, like, I can't believe these foul-mouthed kids.
The thing is, my character, I'm supposed to trash, I'm supposed to trash callers. That's the way it is. As a matter of fact, with me coming back, I was told, even if the callers like me, I'm going to trash them. Of course, in the ladies' call, I can't do that.
Hey, women are women.
I don't swim on that side of the pool, like I've said before. But
there you go.
But anyway, and when I had a kid do it, it's like, how do I really trash a little kid? And this little kid's throwing every cuss word in the book at me, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I'm going to cuss back at the kid so I could set that same example that his parents probably set for him. That's why he's talking like he is. I'm like, no, that's just...
What's some,
My highlight. You want to know my highlight was?
Yeah, let's hear it.
My highlight was, well, actually, it was going to be something else, but then after seeing, Joe and Dennis, or Shano and the Millionaire earlier today, that's the new highlight, watching them fumble the ball the whole entire skit. No, for real, though. My highlight was when the first time Even Colder was here, and, we're all talking, we filled him in, hey, we're going to be doing a thing where I dog you, you got to try and, dog me back. I'm telling him, get up, use Stone Cold lines, because that's who he more or less looked like. I was like, and whenever it came down to it, and I'd start dogging on him, he'd be sitting back here laughing. The big gook doesn't realize I'm dogging him out, and he's
All right. We got to take a commercial break. We want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a happy, safe New Year. And when we get back, we're going to open up with BS's thoughts on the show. He has a little thing that he has taped. So when we get back, and everybody join us every week from now on here on The Cat.
Rubber City Wrestling presents Civil War 2026, Saturday, May 30th at the Akron Turner Club in Talmadge, Ohio. This event features brother versus brother, friends turned foe, and 2 World Championship matches as the Butcher challenges James Lethal for his World Super Heavyweight Championship, and World Heavyweight Champion, the Genetic Freak, John Potok, defends his belt against Strong Style John Rossiter in a last man standing match. The Global Television Championship is on the line as Brennan Martell faces Donovan A. Kozar, plus Platinum Marcus Knight versus Kenny Collins, Draven Post versus Alexander Crowley, Devin Douglas defends his All-American City Championship versus Bruno Mercury, Mike Smiley versus Mike Botts, and your role model Rick Lieb versus the Hall of Famer Justin Dreams. The women's division is back as Miss Hannah faces Mars Crest, plus Scott E. Stevens is a special guest on Know Your Role Model. Tickets are $20 general admission, $25 front row. Doors open at 5 p.m., bell time is at 6 p.m. Get there at 5 p.m. and watch the pre-show matches. Rubber City Wrestling. Real professional wrestling. Not that flippy stuff.
I don't know. It was probably around 2, maybe 3 years ago. I'd be walking around in malls or walking down the street. Women would come up there and just want to be with me. Men, they'd just mimic things I do and more or less just try and follow in my footsteps. I guess that was probably the first time I realized that I was your role model.
Join the champ, John Potok, the boss's son, Bo Smirno, and your role model, Rick Lieb, Saturdays at noon for reruns of Pro Wrestling Weekly on the RCW Network on YouTube.
Would you like to see your commercial aired on both RCW Spotlight and RCW Global? Contact us on social media at facebook.com/Rubber City Wrestling, Instagram at Rubber City Wrestling, or email us at the RCW Network at gmail.com.
Hi fans, I'm Boss's son, Bo Smyrna. That's the character I play on Pro Wrestling Weekly. Now it's kind of interesting how that character came about. I came onto the show and actually the fans kind of gave me those initials and that nickname, and what we decided to do from that point is take it and build from it. And as you see in past episodes, and hopefully we'll show you something here, that's how the character came along, and the Boss's son kind of took off from there. So it's pretty interesting how that all came out. The fans really do have their say in PWW. Now the character, how does character differ from my real-life personality? Well, back then it differed quite a bit because I was kind of playing the spoiled, rich kid whose mother owned the show, and I was quite arrogant, quite honestly, and I don't think that that's my real personality. I think the personality that I'm portraying now on the show, where I'm the nice guy, is really towards more in real life of what I do. But it's been fun, and playing different things is it's great entertainment, not only for yourself, but for the fans. But my feeling the first time I came on the show, well, I don't know. It's just big studio, big lights, cameras, and everything. I don't think I remember anything about the first time I was on the show. In fact, every time I leave the show every week, I don't really remember anything about the show. I might remember a few things that get said, but when you get in your car and you try to think about being on TV, you really don't even remember the cameras being on. And that's kind of the funny thing about the show, in my opinion. And my favorite memory of the show, well, there's quite a few. I mean, coming on the show was a good memory. Having the twins on and being part of the fan club, that was a pretty good memory. Just having this whole inner circle thing blow up kind of in my face, where the champ actually turned his back on me after I agreed to work with him and make this show a success. And then when he turned his back on me, I think one of my favorite memories is when I punched him in his face. And I think he deserves that. And so those are just some of my favorite memories. But overall, being on PWW has been a fun, exciting experience. And we've done a lot of different things. We try to keep the show fun and exciting, keep it news related in the beginning, take some great phone calls. We also have some regular fans like Hollywood and Stingray and Drew Meister. And, you know, those aren't people that are on the staff of PWW, but they bring a lot to the show. And we hope that in the new year we'll have a lot of new fans that like to call in and come up with their own little characters from their living rooms and integrate it into our show. So all in all, it's been a real fun experience, and the Boss's son and all that good stuff is going to develop more in the new year. So we hope you keep watching, and let's show you some of those clips of what I was talking about as some of my favorite memories right now.
Hi, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly. I'm John Potok, and this is the role model Rick Lieb. And we're here to do a new show about pro wrestling to let you know all the inside scoops and everything that's happening on and off the scenes of pro wrestling. If you have any news, comments, rumors, or you just want to talk about anything that you heard about pro wrestling, you can give us a call. If you're in Akron, give us a call at 677-0029. If you're in Cleveland, it's 521-3529.
I'm here today is because Mom's really sick and she sent me in with a decision. Now, she wanted me to ask you guys if you want one last chance to change your mind about this. Are you sure this is what you want to do?
You know, I just been putting up with too much stuff. It's either he goes or I go. I mean, it's got too, I mean, I understand, you know, and I just can't go like this anymore.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. He goes or he goes. That's the bottom line.
Oh, I mean,
the show needs the boss's son.
Did you hear the champ whining in that conference room?
What?
He's sitting there whining about BS, the boss's son. You know, whining either he goes or I go. The guy has to have some integrity. The guy has to have some guts. I mean, you said yourself the boss's son isn't that big.
Well,
come on.
But look, the boring sap was in there saying the exact same thing. I'm not going anywhere. But yet, look, all right, look, I'm going to tell you what. Me and BS was getting along pretty good, right? But see, I don't hang out with mama's boys, little crybabies, kind of like my new sidekick for the day. And so I just don't, you know, that's just not my stilo. I don't play that game, you know what I'm saying? He went and cried because he got hit. Take it like a man, BS. Take it like a man. You should have got back up, you know, a week later when you finally got consciousness and hit him back. But, you know, that kind of stuff didn't happen. And with that, we're going to go to the phones because we've been holding these people.
I wanna sink to the bottom with you. I wanna sink to the bottom with you. The ocean is big and blue. I just wanna sink to the bottom with you.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you.
Everybody, welcome to another week of Pro Wrestling Weekly. I'm the champ, John Potok, your role model, Rick Lieb, and the boss's son, BS, and unfortunately, he's the new PWW champion.
No, introduce me like I asked you to introduce me, champ.
What?
The proper introduction of the new champ. I deserve it.
He's got a point there. You deserve it, champ.
Thank you, Mama.
Anyway, and now, your new PWW heavyweight champion, the boss's son.
That's right.
Bo Smyrno.
Mr. PWW, BFS himself.
What do you think, you're Rob Van Dam? I mean, where are you getting...
I like Rob Van Dam, don't you, role model?
Sure do.
But I'm just playing around. You know what, I just want to thank the fans for all the support this week. You know, the emails, congratulate me being the champ. But you know what? Like I told him last week, this belt don't really mean nothing to me because...
Rubber City Wrestling presents Civil War 2026, Saturday, May 30th at the Akron Turner Club in Talmadge, Ohio. This event features brother vs. brother, friends turned foe, and 2 World Championship matches as the Butcher challenges James Lethal for his World Super Heavyweight Championship, and World Heavyweight Champion, the Genetic Freak, John Potok, defends his belt against Strong Style John Rossiter in a last man standing match. The Global Television Championship is on the line as Brennan Martell faces Donovan A. Kozar, plus Platinum Marcus Knight vs. Kenny Collins, Draven Post vs. Alexander Crowley, Devin Douglas defends his All-American City Championship vs. Bruno Mercury, Mike Smiley vs. Mike Botts, and your role model Rick Lieb vs. the Hall of Famer Justin Dreams. The women's division is back as Miss Hannah faces Mars Crest, plus Scott E. Stevens is a special guest on Know Your Role Model. Tickets are $20 general admission, $25 front row. Doors open at 5 p.m., bell time is at 6 p.m. Get there at 5 p.m. and watch the pre-show matches. Rubber City Wrestling. Real professional wrestling. Not that flippy stuff.
TNT Health, unmasking your potential. So, you want to look like the headline, Vinny DiMaggio? Here's your chance. Let's not be ridiculous. Nobody can look like Vinny. But if you need that energy before your workout, or you want to lose some weight, burn some fat, we got that. You want to build some lean muscle? You can get it at TNT. Or even if you just need the essentials, BCAAs, juiced up, here at TNT Health, we carry it all. Come visit us at tnthealth.com.
Millionaire Freddie Cash here. I'm blessing you street peasants, you mutts, and you poor folk with my presence today because I'm in the giving mood. I've made millions over the years from you people. It's time for me to give a little back. A little back to your community. And Shane, who is it? Shane, who is it?
It's the president of Ethiopia again.
More money you want? You know, tell him to send me a couple of those scrawny little rat children, especially with a flea to my home. So I'll give him a little scrubby bath and send him, you know what, just shove him about his way. Hang up on that.
Doing.
As I was saying, I'm in the giving mood. It's the holiday season. So I'm walking through your neighborhood. Don't approach me. I don't like you. I'll approach you.
More wine,
what up?
Freddie?
Freddie? And I'll see you next week.
It's Shano and The Rock.
Family business!
in the hell am I anyway? This is, what a sick joke here. I mean, it's a rock. What, you don't believe the Rock could be sitting in this Rudy Poo-looking ass studio on a Saturday when the Rock could be watching football? Oh, my God. You know, you meant the fans, Listen, as the millions of the Rock fans chant his name. Oh, my God. How long have you been on this show, John Potak? It's pronounced. It doesn't matter how it's pronounced. You got nothing to say to the Rock? He comes all the way down here. Gonna be at the Gun Arena tonight, a pay-per-view, the British Bulldog. So, why all this where the big hype we announced that the Rock is gonna be here and
he's here.
You know what, Seth? What B.S. said about you is true. You have no class with your $8 shirt and your equally valued haircut. Is that funny? Oh, man. You don't appreciate the Rock coming on this show? I get it just for B.S., a good friend of mine. We'll be partying all night long. Come on down the flat, people. Me and B.S. will be glad to buy you some drinks. Well, Rock, we'll play along with a little game here. Whose computer we got here? That's the boss's son. I think I'll play. You got some games on here? With the Rock game. Okay, well, you go ahead and, you want to take some calls?
You know, Shane, it's time to get a little money back to the community. For, how about him? Perfect, Shane, perfect. Hey, kid.
Yeah.
Come here for a second. How would you like to earn some money today?
Yeah.
Well, kid, today's your lucky day. I'm the millionaire Freddie Cash.
Yeah, I know you are.
Time for me to give a little money back to your community. You feel lucky today, son?
Yeah.
How much money do you make doing this deed you do?
Well, $400 a month.
$400 a month, huh?
Wow.
Well, I'm going to give you a chance to double your salary for the month.
All right.
Well, Shane, what do you think we should have him do? You think? Yeah. Okay, well, you do know our country's national anthem, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
Our country 'tis of the great land of
Okay,
liberty.
I've heard enough. I've heard enough.
Oh, I got my money then?
You moron. That was not our country's national anthem.
What?
You know, our country, you have no respect for our country.
Oh, what about my money? Wait, whoa.
Money?
Yeah.
And I'll see you next week.
True icon, the true icon of Portage County. One more time, it's Hollywood.
Hey, what's up, Hollywood?
Hey, your phone's breaking up.
No, it's your phone,
Anyway,
Hollywood.
what's up? I was down at Raw Monday. I didn't see you guys because I know you fear me.
Well, no, as we told you, we couldn't look up that high.
I'm going to turn the volume up my TV because I can't hear you guys for nothing. Everybody knows, nobody knows this yet, but I stopped down earlier at the station there, but I guess your producer didn't think I was important enough to come on the show, but I did leave you some gifts that, with
That's what this package is.
there, if you want to pull that bag up.
Yeah, I got this package here. I was wondering what it is.
Rule number 1, you must bathe to get on TV. Sorry.
Come on, this is the Portage County icon. What? You and him always have this big thing. What is your problem, role model?
The dude weighs about 40 pounds wet and wearing boots.
Well, you may know me, or you may say you met me, but you don't know me. Anyway, the gift. Even though you guys rag on me all the time, I did bring you some real nice gifts today I dropped off. First, there should be some pictures in there.
It's time to give a little money away again today. Oh, yeah. All about that time. Shane, it's perfect. Get in.
Wake up.
What do you want?
Want to earn some money?
Yeah. You know who we are?
No. I'm Shane, Mr. Millionaire Freddie Cash.
How you doing today?
All right.
Well, what do you got there?
More liquor?
Like to make some money today?
Sure, what I gotta do?
Well, this is what you have him do, Shane. Doing it a little easy for him.
Hey.
You know, we are trying to give money away. Well, Shane says here, if you can finish chugging that bottle, I'll give you $500.
$500 never know. No problem. Where's my money?
Honey, you idiot, there's still malt liquor in there.
It's backwash.
There's backwash for you. Guess you don't know who the hell you... And I'll see you next week.
Oh my God! What?
I'm appalled.
That is just, what are you
Hey,
doing there? That
I'm
guy.
just appalled.
I really tried to give that guy money.
What are you
Drinking
talking about?
malt liquor for him? Like, that was a hard job.
You didn't give the guy half a chance.
Half a chance? Hey, I said it.